No, I'm serious. Let's say you're doing something really boring, you know, like balancing your checkbook for this place, and your mind wanders. Where does it go?
Argentina. Yeah. No, I think about how I used to love ranching, and you think it'd be a good career move? Go back to cattle punching?
Sure, as long as they don't punch you back. No, I mean it. Why not do it if it makes you happy?
Well, you know, then I start thinking about when I used to run the palace, well, back when it was Holden Towers. Oh, man, that was the greatest. That was the best. I loved that. That's a great idea. That's a great idea. I can open a chain of luxury resorts from Maine to Hawaii.
Oh, I don't know, Max. You're not dreaming big enough.
Okay, maybe not a whole chain of hotels to begin with.
No, you should dream big.
All right, okay, I'm not Donald Trump.
What do you want to be?
I can't afford the alimony.
Oh, Max, you're Max Holden. You can do amazing things.
Why, thank you.
Serious.
Hey,
Gus, you got my message.
Yeah, I did, and I was hungry, too. I really was looking and shaking.
Oh.
I gotta have my Rodi's cheeseburger fix. And when I get it, whatever you want, I'm yours.
Thank you.
Hello, Max. Hello. How's it going?
Oh, he's not to be talked to. He's having a midlife crisis just 10 years early.
Oh, ouch. Well, here's something to take your mind off your aging body.
Of course.
Some news about the radio station.
Well, that might have interested me back when Luna was on the air, but after Todd bought the place just to fire her, I'd rather listen to static.
Okay, well, that's the news flash. Now listen to me here. My mother-in-law, sainted mother-in-law, blessed be her heart. She put her mansion up for sale, and guess who bought it? Todd Fanning.
Well, why would Todd buy Dorian's house?
Her mansion. Because Star needs a place to live. Right?
Oh.
I don't know why the man does it. I don't know why he does anything that he does. The point I'm making is, he needs money. He put this radio station up for sale.
You wouldn't know what he's asking for that, would you?
Figure I heard was around a cool $1 million.
Well, I know Maggie said that I was in a bit of a rut. Well, it's actually more like the size of the Grand Canyon. I'm looking for a way to climb out, and I did own a television station once. I ever tell you that?
No.
They used to produce a soap opera.
Soap?
Yeah, soap.
I do.
Oh, those hot tub scenes?
Love the hot tub.
Yeah, where were you when I was doing those hot tub scenes? That's all I got to say. But anyway, this radio thing might be a challenge. I mean, the kind of challenge I'm looking for.
Could be it. I mean, those hot tub scenes, I think they play beautifully on radio.
The thing is, where am I going to come up with $1 million?
Oh.
Okay, where's the emergency? I don't see nobody wearing hip boots.
Wait a minute, are you a plumber? I called you and you showed up. You came right here and showed. It's a miracle!
Okay, funny guy. I don't got all day.
Right this way.
Hey, club soda?
What a character. Yeah, club soda's great.
Okay.
Thank you. What's going on here? Looks like Max isn't the only person looking for a career change, huh?
Oh, no, I'm just filling in for the night. But I'm actually getting pretty good at this, you know. When I first started, I couldn't even make a Long Island iced tea, but now I'm pouring you a club soda.
And doing it quite well, I might add.
Very much. Actually, I like talking to people.
I think you get that from your dad.
No, he likes to talk at people.
Maggie, I'm sure he wasn't always like that, you know. Could be the job. Could be just getting older.
See, I don't know. So I wanted to pick your brain. Who is my father? I mean, I never really thought about it, but I don't know much about his past. All those gaps, I figure it's time to start filling them in.
What's this picture you want me to look at?
Well, there are lots of them, but it's kind of typical. My parents on their wedding day.
Okay. And the question would be?
Does my father look happy?
I don't know. I mean, the picture's a little faded.
Well, that's my father's expression. I mean, this is his wedding day, and he looks like he's missing in action.
Grooms always look that way. I do a lot of wit.
Any picture, Andrew. Look, my parents on vacation. My parents holding me as a child.
What are you looking for here from me?
You were around them when you were a kid. Do you remember them ever being happy? I mean, early on, before things got really bad.
Why wouldn't they have been happy?
I don't know. That's what's driving me crazy. Something was very wrong between them.
I really don't remember it exactly that way. I remember your dad was a little bit aloof. You know, he took after my dad that way. That's a carpenter trade, you know. We're very proud. I don't know, your mom, she was just... Everybody loved her. I remember my parents saying that woman must be an angel.
Because of what she had to put up with?
Maggie, look, I don't think they meant it
That's
that
what
way,
people say about the wife, Andrew, when the husband is out drinking or gambling or fooling around.
Well, I don't know. I mean, what, is this what you're worried about, that your dad was having an affair?
That would certainly explain a lot.
Well, I mean, so what? I mean, if he did, then that's something that happened a long time ago, and maybe he made a mistake. We all make mistakes, right? And I sure don't want my kid snooping around my past 20 years from now, judging me for the things that I did then, the man I was instead of the good man that I am.
I don't want to judge my father.
Then why are you just trying to find every single place he stumbled off the path? You know, God has forgiven him, Maggie.
All right, but God knows what he did. I don't.
Maybe he was happy. Maybe he was so happy that he was afraid that it would all be taken away.
Most of it wasn't it? This beautiful woman died of alcoholism and my brother killed himself.
All of which you still blame your father for.
No, I don't.
You don't? Then why are you trying to pick apart every single mistake he ever made?
So I can forgive him?
Forgive? I don't think so. I'm sorry, I don't.
All right, I just want to know. All right, I just like a little kid. Why? Just because. Andrew, please. Look, just think about it. If there's anything that you remember about that time before everything just took a nosedive.
All right, I'm remembering. I've told you everything that I can possibly remember. Look at me. If this is so important to you, then ask the person who knows. Su Papa.
I really hate good advice. God.
That's my cue to leave. Look, I'm sorry.
No,
maybe I haven't been any help at all, but you can call me anytime. You know that, all right?
I will. Thank you.
I love you.
I love you.
Great cheeseburger. Good soda. This was not some sordid affair. But if word gets out that she was found in my room, people will assume.
What? Let them assume. Bishop, you know the truth. How can you even care about what people think at a time like this?
It's not me. I don't care about my reputation. She's a married woman with a family. I'm protecting her and them. God help her, she is lying. If I don't protect her, who will? I won't have them pointing and whispering and making their mean little jokes.
I don't understand.
Just trust that I'm doing the right thing.
Where you been?
Clean out the trash.
Ah, you should have thrown my checkbook in with it.
Is that bad? Ooh.
Hold out.
Yeah, it's raw. It's gonna snow. That's a great idea. Just to be snowbound, the two of us. How about it? You want to drive up to the mountain Sunset Inn and, I don't know, get away from it?
After paying the plumber, I'm too stressed out to drive anywhere.
Is it really that bad? Oh, no, look, just this is about... Take a word of advice. Never, ever balance your checkbook at night, unless you really like insomnia.
You know, I kept hoping I made a mistake. I mean, just a little one, so I'd see that maybe number 1 million would be left in there.
You want to buy that radio station?
Yeah.
Well, why don't you do it? Come on, there are ways to raise money. Just, let's do it, all right? Move on. You get away from the past. Get over it. Forward.
And you?
Why don't I take my own time? No problem.
I heard that if you fast in another person's name, it lends energy to them. I discovered the extent of Jackie's illness while filming Ride with the Devil in Missouri. I immediately started fasting, partially in disbelief and partially in total panic. Sensing my distress, the producers were kind enough to give me a few days off from the film to let me visit her. I arrived in town on May 23rd, my birthday. I had been warned that Jackie's condition might be startling to me. She had lost a considerable amount of weight since the last time I had seen her, enough to have made it impossible for her to leave the house for weeks. I told her we'd be happy to visit her at her home, to make things easier for her. But Jackie insisted she could make it to the birthday dinner that was being held for me. I was unprepared for how sick she was. When she came to the private room at the hotel, her pink dress and white cardigan hung on her like from a hanger. She looked so fragile. I couldn't help but burst into tears at the sight of her, not just because she appeared ill, but because I had missed her so much while I was in Missouri. I loved Jackie, as much as I loved my own mother, more sometimes than I loved myself. She was constant and kind and wise and always there. I depended on her to explain things to me, such as life and hurt and what I could do better and how I could be more helpful to others. Her life was dedicated to service, to the aid of others, and she had done so much. She was dedicated to helping Indigenous people around the world improve their living conditions. She worked to integrate their wisdom into modern cultures. She encouraged religious leaders of many nations and theologies to be more tolerant and to see the ultimate unity of all spiritual disciplines. She helped and loved me so much. I was overjoyed to see her. She sat next to me and delighted in the food, although she could not eat it. And when it was time for the gifts, she oohed and awed over each one. Then she gave me her gift, a gold ring set with diamonds and a long, liquid blue topaz stone. I knew the ring had belonged to her. There was something about the way she handed it to me that seemed like the passing of a torch. It chilled me. If that was the case, I was not sure I wanted it, but I slipped it on my finger gratefully. After dinner, Jackie asked me to sing her favorite song. It was one I wrote the previous Christmas, when we were all together in Hawaii. The song was called Life Uncommon, and when I first played it for her, she wept. She told me this is a song of true independence and freedom. I have a feeling there will be a big 4th of July event next year, and you'll play it then. Promise me you will. I promised. There I sat on my birthday, singing Jackie the Freedom Song, but none of us felt free. Jackie was throwing up every hour, sometimes more. I spent my remaining free days at her home, singing to her, praying for her, rubbing her swollen legs and feet, and trying to believe she would get the miraculous healing she so longed for, but it was not to be. Less than 2 months later, Jackie was moved to a hospice to die. She weighed 78 pounds. My mom and I joined Jackie's sons and other friends and family in her small hospital room. Jackie had been unconscious for days, but the moment I saw her, her eyes lit up. She became animated, looked straight at me, and smiled. I tried to keep my emotions in check, but on the drive home I cried as though I'd never stop. When we arrived at the hospice on the second day, her oldest son greeted me with a hug, and with a bemused, "Happy 4th of July." It's 4th of July. I had lost track of the days. It gave me a chill in my bones. We stayed with Jackie all day and into the evening. We sang songs and spoke to her. We took turns stroking her forehead. And then, when her breath grew raspy, we all lit candles and said our goodbyes. We told her how much we loved her, but that it was okay for her to go on without us. Then we waited silently for her to pass. As fireworks began to explode in the sky outside the window, Jackie's breath quit coming. We all sat silent. It was over. We joined hands, formed a circle around her bed, and said a prayer. Then her youngest son leaned over and whispered in my ear, "Sing her the song. Sing her the independence song." I was numb. I didn't know if I could. My voice was trembling and I was shaking, and I could hardly stand it. But somehow I found the first words. "Don't worry, Mother. It'll be all right." And then the rest came as though someone else was singing it, and amid the faint booms and explosions of fireworks, I sang the song just like she had asked 2 months earlier. I grew more certain with each passing phrase that Jackie was still near and would always hear. We will lend our voices only to sounds of freedom, no longer lend our strength to that which we wish to be free from. Fill our lives with love and bravery, and we shall lead a life uncommon.